Hey Thungart the Barbarian, I am Gumbart the Fuck Blar, the collector of miniatures who cannot prime them for a while because weather, Great Lakes weather. But I will show you some of the miniatures that have come so far, and also a bunch of the minis that I've painted. I actually got quite a bit of my pile of shame done, kind of in the Christmas to the New Year's. This guy is just something I bought with Christmas money. It's well, I got a lot of these guys, but this is a I think it's from the board game Ankh, and they have these. I think it's by Cool Mini or not, and they have these really cool minis, and they're all very sword and sorcery Egyptian type stuff. I figure this stuff will play really well in my D&D campaign. No way I'm gonna run a global world trekking pseudo history inspired sword and sorcery campaign in an RPG without having any fucking Egyptians, and it's not just gonna be the Stygians from Conan, although they're in the setting. There'll also be some slightly more, much less anachronistic, or not even anachronistic. Obviously, it's all anachronistic. Less Egypt is a bunch of evil white weirdo alien people priests. They're not actually aliens, but they're like sort of a hybrid between another earlier species of human. Like Conan lore is fucked up because a guy wrote it in the 1930s, and some of it's like sort of, I don't know how much of it is coming from which source, but I like this stuff because it's not racist. It's just cool. It's just cool fantasy Egyptian stuff. Of course, I like Conan stuff too, but of course the Conan stuff that gets made today tends to be less, about all the racism. There will be racism in the world, right? That makes sense for a sword and sorcery setting where everyone's warring and a bunch of horrible monkey people, and everything's falling apart and civilization is doomed. That sort of thing. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I like all sorts of things about Conan. Definitely not the racism. But of course, if someone says, I really like this guy's hair, he's got like an Anubis head mask, I really like that. It's really, when I first saw it, I was like, man, what the hell is that? But now that I see it up close, it's like, ooh, he's an Anubis guy. That's badass. I'm not sure which of these are supposed to be the priest of Thoth, or Thoth, however you say that. For all I know, it could be this guy. This guy's really fucking cool. He is clearly a rich bastard because he's got like this golden thing on his head. And it's hard to see because obviously he's not primed. He's got a lot of scale armor. He's got a big, cool ass sort of Kopesh-esque glaive, I guess you would say, like cutting spear. He's got this weird thing on his back that makes him look like I guess like a hawk? Like, God, who's the hawk god in, I guess there's probably more than one in Egyptian religion, I'm not sure. This guy, I think, is the priest of Ptah, but I actually don't know anything about Ptah. I think I've only said Ptah's name as like a joke. Kind of like how I'd say, as a kid, I'd say Baal, Lord of the Harvest. Well, Baal in like whatever ancient Semitic language just means Lord, and it usually refers to Baal Hadad, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just like you're referring to some guy or some god or whatever. This guy's really cool. Again, I probably won't use these all as priests, but they will be cool warriors, perhaps individual characters, and some of them that don't necessarily look as Egyptian or even Nubian, because I think some of these might be good Nubians. Fantasy Nubians, I think they'd be good as. Is this guy one of them? I'm not sure. I'll have to see when he's primed up. He might be good for it. He's like a lion warrior. I know there's at least one lion god in... there's also lioness gods. I know there's at least one lion god in ancient Egyptian religion. I'm not sure who it is. Yeah, this guy's cool. Now this guy I think would make a great Nubian, or hell, maybe even a Puntian. Like a guy from Bunt, which is a place mentioned in the Bible. He's definitely at the very least Nubian, and I fucking love him. He's got the scorpion on his shield. He's got this Very interesting, elaborate or like scale armor. He's got this big plume in the back. It's clearly not his hair, because it's attached to his head. I'm guessing that's just like, I'm gonna maybe paint it up as like maybe ostrich feathers or something like that. And he's got a bow, and this guy's badass. Now, I didn't mean to, but I accidentally saved. Oh no, there's one more male figure. I was about to say I thought I had only female figures left. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This is like a priest of some death god, I'm guessing, by the skull mask. I don't know which Egyptian god it's supposed to be. It's from, again, a specific board game, and I could check, but yeah, fuck it. But, you know, maybe, is it Osiris? Is Osiris the god of the dead? I think he is, right? Or am I wrong? I might be. Yeah, this guy's badass. And then here is random priestess. I'm not sure of what. This figure's a little too. I mean, it's a cool mini. I'm sure once it's painted up, it'll be cool. But it's a little. I don't know. It's not exactly thin on detail. Just like thin. She's a little willowy. I don't know how to put it. I know she's a priest, but she's also like much smaller than the other characters. Now this character that's less true for, I think this lady could be a good Nubian as well. Actually, her sword makes me think of Central Africa for some reason. Maybe Sub-Saharan in general. Maybe she's a Puntian. I know Punt isn't in Central Africa, but, you know. Just like you can have a Viking with a claymore, even though it's a medieval Scottish thing, and, you know, the Vikings are more, I don't know. Well, thank you, Teddy. Yeah, that's, I know you can't see it for shit. But really what I want to show you is the shit I have painted. That's in this box here. Now let me move my big guy off the top, because he's coming last. So I will try and show these a little bit faster than the other ones. So I will start with the humanoid size type guys. Yeah. Let me just. Okay, I'll put this over here. Hopefully, I remember to show you the Triceratops. First of all, Martian weirdo men. Weirdo alien, kind of quasi-fishy, sort of slightly Dragon Ball Z men. But with muskets instead of Kamehamehas. Sorry. Trying to get everything right. I always fail. It's okay. There we go. Okay. Just. Okay. So yeah, these are Kitbashes. Ah, shit. There we go. Okay. So yeah, these are just weird fishmen. I'm realizing now that I didn't paint the eyes, but you will. You know, I tried to give them a weird look. They've got bodies from Aztecs and arms from lizard men. They've got Frostgrave heads, and the thing on the back of their loincloth is from Italiarium Battle Sisters thing. I like this guy's little, I guess, what would you call that? Like not telescope, like binoculars, like alien Martian binoculars. I really like that. I like how I made it kind of off-white. I just think it looks cool. Next up, we've got the Tartarians. I think I talked about these in an earlier video. I'm pretty sure I did. These are the unmounted, well actually one mounted Tartarian, but we'll get to him later. Where is the other? There's 4 of these, right? I'm looking for them. Where are the? Well, let me look at this. Let me put these down. Yeah, these are most of these are Kitbashes that I've painted. Tartaria is a sort of steampunk conspiracy theory weirdo thing. It's not really steampunk, but that's kind of, if you had to put it in like a genre of science fiction or fantasy, steampunk would be kind of what it is. But it's just basically, if you believe in it, you're just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. If you believe in Tartaria, you just suck. But where did the other Tartarian go? There they are. I see them now. So, these are, just regular, in my game, I use Tartarians as a basically East European / Central Asian / Siberian / a little bit of everyone else, because Tartaria in its grandest days, stretched across the Americas, across much of Eurasia, and other places, Australia, basically, everything that's actually really recently made, and like even a child knows it. Tartaria believers think that actually it's the mud-buried ruins of something that was far greater. Because there was this good time when Tartaria existed, and we got free energy from the magical ether, and we generated it from pointy bits on buildings. I'm not kidding, like steeples, minarets, towers, basically anything. They'll say anything. Gilded Ages from that time, even though it's really recent, we really, really know who these people were that made them. There's another Tartarian. But they'll also, look at stuff like the Great Pyramid, just because it's super big and super impressive, and say, "Oh, this is Tartaria," and it's fucking insane. People on the internet are insane, and sometimes it's fun to just collect all the bullshit. I think I was collecting something today, but I forget what it was. Oh, that's right, it was Dracula Flow. Dracula Flow, I finally saw all the videos, and I found out that he's 12 million years old, and that not only has he, flipped bricks with Mansa Musa, he's also, he was, smoking a tobacco / cannabis cigarette soaked in PCP / embalming fluid or tire fluid or something, and and that he was doing that at Göbekli Tepe. So that's amazing. So I love all that lore. I added it all to my timeline, of course, because I'm insane. Because I'm insane. Almost as insane as my dog. You know this? Okay, is that gonna work? Oh, good. So yeah, you can see these guys that got the bronze, these guys aren't actually Kitbashes, I don't think. I've only got one kind of skeleton kit, but still they're the Frostgrave, the Oathmark skeletons are very, very much inspired by the North European Bronze Age, which I love. I think that's a cool, obscure historical period to target, and I've used some of that kit, except the zombie or the less skeletal, more zombie Revenant kit to make femboys. So that's nice, giving something to the world. Here's some of my wackier Kitbashes, one of which is basically a scratch build. A little bit, not exactly. So the guy on the left is my attempt to make a Baphomet, and the guy on the right is my attempt to use a bunch of bits, including a demon skull from Warhammer Skull Kit, in order to make horrible monstrosities. So this is the forearm skeleton of a demon. You can see he's got an arrow in the eye, and he's got two bows and arrows he's using at the same time, because he's got 4 arms, and he's got this rusty-ass metal, and he's all gross and fucked up, and maybe the skeleton's been around for way too long, and the fact that there's any iron showing through it all is a minor miracle. I mean, not for the people he's going to kill and eat, but so this is a Baphomet. Now, this guy might be a good Baphomet. He might be an interesting Baphomet. He might be a good guy, or he might just want to eat babies. So I used a bit of a necklace and repainted all the jewels, and I basically took a goat toy. That's his legs, that's his head. Bits of Army Man are his arms. Tried to give him a pose that you see in that kind of Baphomet painting. Of course, he's way leaned back. He's got a horrible thing keeping him up, whatever. And his clothes are just a whole bunch of paper or something. I don't know. Probably construction paper or some shit. I don't know. Pretty happy with him. He's a pretty good build for me. Here are some more demons, because we always like demons, right? These are basically, I've kitbashed a bunch of Tau and some Warlord Games Angus McBride orcs with some other bits and doodads and some Oathmark goblins and just bits and pieces of whatever in order to make these horrible demon men. And these guys are, they're not Tau, they're not Chaos Tau, because I'm not racist. No, just kidding. I don't know why that would be racist. They're blue alien fishmen. But yeah, these guys are just, they're horrible demons. Maybe, maybe they're good guy demons, or maybe you can convince them to be good guy demons, They're still people, kind of. It depends on the demon. Some demons are just like a like a cyclone that wants to eat you. So that's not really necessarily a person. Kind of like how Hellhound. I mean, a Hellhound could be a person. You could have a Hellhound like that one cartoon with the Hellhound that everyone wants to fuck. That Hellhound's a person. I've seen her talk in the cartoon. So I think that one, and she even has a humanoid form, so people don't feel weird about wanting to fuck her. So I guess that's okay. Anyways, here are some Native Americans, or I guess American Indians is what people prefer in the U.S. I don't know if this transcends continents, because this guy is Eastern Woodland guy. I sculpted him some hair very poorly. And then this lady is a fantasy character who's basically supposed to be a sort of Central American / South American. Basically, if you ever heard of the Ica stones, they say that alien humans called the Glyptolithic men made humanity 1 million years ago in Peru. This is the descendant of one of the humans they made, and having lived in the Americas for 1 million years across multiple cycles of real-life civilizations coming in, being blurted out, and coming back again, they've kind of picked up a lot of shit. So she's got a bronze mace, kind of like the Andean people. She's got a Aztec shield. She's got an Aztec cloth armor, although not the same kind. But she's also got this weird bronze-ish chainmail. And this guy, this Eastern Woodland American Indian guy, gave him a copper dagger. I don't have a good copper, but I figured just a good bronze would probably be fine. Using a lot of speed paints for these. A lot of these were already half painted for a long time, and I finally finished them up. Really glad for that. Here are... Sorry, not trying to zoom in too much. Because I'm about to get to the Klansmen. I don't want to scare away too many people. Don't worry, they're bad guys. They're space Klansmen that I kitbashed together. Here is a Wolfman, a Cynocephalus, that I made from a Frostgrave Knoll kit, plus War Games Atlantic Irish, plus Victrix Iberians. This could be a very good Wolfman. You can see that he actually doesn't have a hand. Now, that was initially, I think, I had glued on the arm, and I was like, I'll attach something to it. But once I glued it on, I was like, or no, I think before I glued it on, I was like, wait, it'd be cool if this guy's kind of like, yeah, he's like in an attacking pose, and maybe he's kind of a vicious dog man, but he's still a guy, and he's still a puppy. He's only got one hand. Maybe if you give him a little tuna salad, he'll be like nice to you, and you can befriend him and give him a robo arm, and then he'll be your best friend forever. That sort of stuff can happen in my games. It's nice. Or the characters could just cut his head off and take his club and sacrifice his soul to Satan. They could do that too. So let's see. I guess we're about to get to the Klansmen. So yeah, just if you don't want to see Space KKK, don't worry. They're not. There's no dead. There's no horrible. Victims or anything. It's kind of like Indiana Jones Nazis. It's kind of like that, but Klansmen. And you just shoot them. because they're fucking filth and they're worthless. The space Nazis are slightly more prepared, but not by much. They all fail. The universe strikes them down. And even when my players are like horrible, evil bastard characters who like eat children and stuff, they're like, man, fuck the clan, let's kill them. Although I actually haven't had them fight clans, but I think they did once in a superhero campaign. I'm pretty happy with the white. White is kind of hard to paint. I'm pretty happy with this. It looks kind of, it's uneven. Of course, the speed paint didn't go over well. Of course, with the crazy clanswoman with the holding a head on a chain, she's psychotic. These people have space guns, also knives. So again, these are, you go to Aldebaran where the Nazi space people are, and you shoot them. You'll find lots of Klansmen goons who are being fooled into thinking they won't be evacuated into hyperspace and used as gel for the fucking toilet. I don't fucking know. Anyways, here's some more Klansmen. By the way, some of these are actually Klanswomen, because in space, you eventually learn that even if you're super racist, you have to let the women do stuff. And if you're sexist, you fucking die. It's your fault. So this guy's got kind of more old-timey armor. Again, they've got grizzly trophies on them. This lady is just using spears, but she's a big badass. I think she's like a bruiser type. She's got a cowboy or a cowgirl's head on her, because some cowpoke wanted to kill the clan and did not succeed. Hopefully my players will avenge her by cutting this horrible woman's head off. In real life, by the way. I'm talking about the game. Just trying to get decent views of these guys. Not the best paint job, but I'm kind of happy with how the white turned out. That sounds bad in this context. Don't worry, we will get to cool African people soon, and it will be less uncomfortable. These are just, here's the thing, I'm just kind of desensitized to that sort of stuff, not like in a shitty comedian kind of way. Like, I try and be sensitive, and like, I do care about people and not offending people. I view a difference between shocking humor and offensive humor. I'm not going to go into that. But, yeah, this is not supposed to be, ho racism. It's supposed to be, look at this cocksucker. Blow his fucking brains out. It's like, hell yeah. Because that's most RPGs, right? Is you go to the place where the bad guy is, you blow his fucking brains out, and then you take his golden doubloons and his magical katana, and then you win. So here, before we get to the cool African people and all the other, there's actually some more dog people, and also all sorts of weird stuff, including bigger stuff. There are some space terrorists. Now these are fun terrorists, these are not horrible real life terrorists, these are like Cobra Commander, G.I. Joe terrorists, They've got, again, these are Kitbashes, they've got Afghan War Games Atlantic, Afghan bodies, heads from Talarium Battle Sisters, mostly I would say, yeah, they've all got Stargrave hands, and some of them got backpacks too. I think even this lady's head also comes from the Battle Sisters. I really like the Kitbashes I did here. Can't see them all very much. See if here, let me spin them around so you can see them a little better. Yeah, I imagine the lady without the helmet is a commander of some sort. So what kind of space terrorists are these? I believe that they are generic, not generic, they're not supposed to represent, I think they will represent a specific faction in my game at some point, although it might be that this is just how some people dress. Like this is a generic outfit and some people just adopt it or whatever. But, these guys I think are like fun, like G.I. Joe, it's just sort of, maybe not cartoony, but, they're not like, I don't know, like white supremacists or anything. I don't think they give a shit about that. I think if they ever worked with the space KKK, they'd be like, man, first chance we get, we're nuking these guys. They're like, fuck that guy. They don't like that. They're like, man, we're space people. We don't give a shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I think I painted the. Or I attempted to paint the lady without her helmet as like kind of. It's really hard to tell with a sculpt like that, and especially with skin tone because there's so many different skin tones all across the world. But I try to make her sort of East Asian looking. I don't know. It probably didn't come through at all. But that's just because I'm just bad at that. Here are a couple of, I think, last demons. These are not Kitbashes. These are just straight from a sprue of the Frostgrave demons. Really happy with the color of the red metal. Really, it was just a army painter red metallic paint, I think called gemstone, and then I put some red contrast paint over that, and it just looks great. I probably should or could highlight it, but I think I'm basically done with these guys. I just want to, make room for the shit that's coming in. Speaking of which, there's actually other stuff I got that I didn't show you before the Egyptians, but oh well. Maybe another time. This is a long video. That's okay. I don't care. So this guy's a Kitbash. He's Sudanese, Peri-Sudanese, I think, right? Peri-Sudanese? I think so, yeah. And Aztecs, just kind of make a big bruiser guy. This guy in the middle is just Reaper Bones mini I've had for a long time. Wanted to get painted up. For some reason I was intimidated by, like, the details on this guy. I don't really know why he's not that detailed now that I painted him recently, but maybe it's just because I would always chunk up everything and make it look like shit. But this lady I'm pretty happy with. I sculpted her a cape over her arm, although I accidentally I didn't accidentally, but I after I had already built her and given her like a nub arm that came with this Taliarium Shield Maidens kit, I was like, oh, what if I gave her like a cloak over her missing arm to make her just look badass? And she does look badass, don't get me wrong. But, why give her the arm then? I mean, not that it matters. I lost all that shit before. But here are some Beastmen. This guy is another one of the Cynocephali, the Wolfmen. This guy is a WizKids Pigman. I think he's supposed to be a wereboar. Well, I just decided that he's a pigman. I think that's cooler than wereboar. I usually think wolfman is cooler than werewolf. I know the definition might be slightly confusing, but I like wolfmen. They're just wolfmen. I don't want them to be humans half the time. That's just me. I mean, I have werewolves in my setting. If someone wants to play one, I'm like, okay. But they're just not a big deal for me. Finally, in terms of the small ones, we've got a few, we've got mostly monkey men, but we've also got a few others. First is the mini my cousin used in D&D. This is his character Dersh. I don't know if he liked the paint job. I could always redo it. I don't think he thought it was shit. I think it wasn't what he expected. I don't know. It's okay. I can always repaint it. No big deal. I've done that with PC, characters in my game. This is just a regular ass Reaper skeleton I've had for a gajillion years that I forgot to paint with the rest of his batch. I haven't sprayed these, by the way. There hasn't been good spraying weather. I mean, yeah, I think the Vallejo permanent quick dry stuff, I think that stuff pretty good in whatever weather, as long as it's not like raining or whatever. I could be wrong, but the bottle the spray can doesn't seem to mention. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times. It would not be surprising. Not in the slightest. Little Kinder Egg toy. Little fossil that I painted up. Now it's a D&D fossil. This is worth a lot of money to some people in the setting. If you go to the Empire of Kitai from Conan, which is basically ancient China, or I kind of make it more medieval China in my game, they're like, oh, we can use this for medicine, you know, and they're probably not the only ones. I'm sure there's a lot of people historically who did that, and probably still do. You know, no shame. My civilization is probably one of the stupidest. I would think. I think that's some. You know, Donkey one time said, "We Americans are known for our supreme intellect." It's just, oh, it's hilarious. I love, you know, as long as someone's not actually bigoted against other nationalities, I'm all good with America bashing, man. I'm right there with you. I think America is shit from a butt. I know it could be way worse, don't get me wrong. I know I'm lucky in a lot of ways to be there. It's just, man, fuck America in some ways. In some ways, you know, I'm not gonna shoot up a fucking building. I'm not a psychopath. I just think the country kind of sucks. Being that I live in it. I guess everyone thinks their country sucks. I have history to back me up on that. Speaking of things that happened in history, these are orangutans that have learned to walk upright and wield weapons as hominins do. And they're not human, but they're quasi-human. I fucking love these. These would be good orang pendeks. These would be good orangutan mans. And this is obviously the leader because he's got the face pads and he's got a bone that makes him the big guy. They've also got jade. You know, I tried to, you know, make them more interesting, and I love my jade paint. So that's those ones. There's a few more. Well, there's actually just one more. Well, there's one more orangutan man and an actual orangutan and an African lady I forgot to include. And you know, there's not even an Africa theme. Like, orangutans are Asian apes. Like, they're nowhere near Africa. This isn't like, oh, I went down the road and I saw a cute orangutan and I adopted him as a pet. She'd have to go like bajillion fucking miles away. Maybe she did. Maybe she did. Maybe she's that badass. This lady's arm broke off. I didn't intend for her arm to break off, but so did the handle of her sword. Poor lady. She's cool though. I'm wondering if I make that like a tradition with this. Like if I get that kid again, I'm like, oh, there's these badass, you know, African Amazon ladies, and they just cut off their fucking arm. Why not? It's cool. Orangutan in the middle is actually just a cheap educational miniature toy. It's like rubbery. Yeah. The only thing these people have in common is that the lady here is my species of monkey, and these guys are technically also monkeys, but we're like a different kind of monkey, you know. These are actually the least related great apes to humans, which is sad, because I think we'd be a lot cuter if we were closer related to orangutans. But I think we'd be better people if we were closer related to gorilla. So here's gorilla. I didn't mean to make that segue, it just happened. This is a toy gorilla I've had for a gajillion year, and I repainted him to be a cool gorilla man. I didn't paint him very well, but that's okay. He's not a really good mini. He's just a toy, and he's a very happy gorilla. Look, he sees you, and he sees you as his friend. He hopes that you're doing well, and he loves you. He hopes you have a good night's sleep. Unlike me. No, I hope you have a good sleep. I don't have a good sleep, though. Here's a bear that I painted 1 trillion fucking years ago, and I finally painted the base and said, fuck it, he's done. So the paint job is from a gajillion years ago, before I had speed paints or anything. I didn't mean for the bear to be like kind of blonde, but he turned out that way, and I'm kind of fine with it. Maybe he's some extinct kind of bear. He's badass, whatever he is. And here are some more. Well, this guy's not really a Kitbash. He's just straight from the sprue. He's a Oathmark human infantry guy on a cavalry on a horse. and you know, very kind of Tolkien-esque. I'm using him as like an Arnorian guy, kind of, or just generally a Middle Earth dude on a horse. But then you've got the final Tartarian, this guy. He is a Tartarian. He's got a bow. He's also got. Well, here, I'll let you can see he's pointing his little arrow at you. He's gonna shoot you. He's got there's so many kits from this. Like you've got Northman, or not Northman. You've got Oathmark Human Infantry horse and torso, but also I think the arms are Frostgrave. Yeah, they're Frostgrave soldier, and I think that might be an Afghan head, or it might be from something else. You know, I really like that guy. He's pretty cool. He's very colorful. He's one of the higher ranking soldiers, I'm guessing. Finally, I've painted the Tusken Raider. Finally, he is complete. I've decided to make him a bit more, I've decided to make him a bit more colorful. Of course, the Tusken Raider himself is a glorious shade, he has many shades of brown in terms of his outfit, right? He's a sand dude, likes to dress in sand colors. That's just his thing. It's like his thing, because he's a sand person. So that's pretty cool. I wish I was a sand person. I wish I talked like that. That'd be based. Yeah, and the Bantha is cool. Did you know that the Bantha is probably named after the Banth from Barsoom? It's like a weird leopard lion thing from Mars, even though they look nothing like this. George Lucas lied to me. He lied to all of us, and he must pay. No, I'm kidding. George Lucas doesn't have to pay. Just like how Dracula Flow doesn't need to see the price tag anyway, George Lucas has never seen a price tag in his life. He's unaware of the concept. So now for the big stuff. The real big stuff. See that? Oh, no, you cannot. Okay, let me back this up. This is one of the smaller ones, so this might be tricky. Sorry. This is one of my longest videos, I bet. Oh shit, come on, bastard. Okay, good enough. So these are basically some Atlantean pillars I kitbashed from bits and bobs of plastic doodads and shit that I'd scavenged from all sorts of things and stuff. They make good Atlantean pillars. I didn't know what color scheme to go with, but now I do, and I have done it. And here are some more of those, except a little bit taller. Maybe if I do this, yeah. Well, you can see them at least. You can also see the huge pile of sprues in the back. Don't worry. No sprues were harmed. Yeah, just Atlantean pillars, you know. Good old terrain for my characters to steal. You know, it's always good in D&D, you know, looting historical artifacts. Because you get paid a lot of money for it. Here's a robot. A shit whore! Hopefully nothing broke. Good thing I didn't say a horrible word I'm not allowed to say. That's my titty. Fuck your mother. Well, at least nothing broke. I hope the fucking... Fuck. God is not real. Remember that. I told my nephew that. My 3-year-old nephew that. I said, God is not real, but Santa Claus is. And I will continue to tell him that no matter what anyone tells me. Okay. I'm okay. We're okay. Sorry if you saw my titty. Because I have a male-presenting body, and my nipples are male-presenting, I am allowed to show my nipples. because of racism. It's actually sexism. But I like jokingly calling everything racism. It's probably not a good idea, but until someone complains, I'll keep doing it. Here's the robot I made from junk. He's supposed to be a multi-million-year-old weirdo alien robot from a time of non-human intelligences on the Earth, and of course I put hot glue on his base, which made him well, his Pringles can base warp. The lightning is actually from a Dragon Ball Z statue that I bought at Barnes & Noble's that broke, and I said, what will I do with the lightning? I said it will fit nicely into this robot's arm, and it just shoots a spiraling circle blade of just electricity, and it cuts through people and it kills people. It's probably malfunctioning. You can see it's made out of a bunch of junk. There's a fucking vent on there because I dug it up out of a used lot that used to be a bowling alley. A lot of wires and Kinder bullshit. And now we have only the biggest man, the biggest guy, the biggest person, even though he's probably not of sufficient intelligence to be called a person, although he is an individual. He is Triceratops. And this is a Triceratops that I have given a big howdah thingy-majiggy on the back, soamst, that he can carry everyone who he wants to carry. So this is the man, this is the beast, but will he be seen? Will he be heard? Will you hear the cries of the Triceratops as he is slowly driven to extinction? So as you can see, he's blue and purple and yellow, because those are good colors. I don't think there's bad colors, because that'd be racist. Maybe not racist. Depends on what color. Oh god. Come on, fucking focus, you stupid cocksucker. Okay, here's an idea. You take that out. Let me put this, let me just, shit from a butt. Shit from a butt. Can you see? Can you see? Okay, good enough. Yeah, I really tried to make him pretty good, although his kind of leather thing underneath that connects this and whatever, it's clearly tissue paper, and some of the like the leather straps underneath are not very convincing, but whatever. I don't give a shit. I think he's probably going to be like a Martian Triceratops. That's why he's so big. Because I don't think D&D scale Triceratops, at least a regular one, would be this big. For reference, here is a horrible racist white woman right next to it. So he's quite big. He's just a toy I converted. But yeah, this dinosaur, he's a herbivore, so he's not going to eat her, but he doesn't like racists, so he's going to grab her with his psychic powers and throw her over here. She fell. Okay. So yeah, Triceratops, I gave him lots of war trophies, a lot of heads from Warcraft minis I wasn't going to use, lots of Lego shields I didn't have much use for, also real mini shields, there's stuff, you know, there's a Robo shield on the back of here from a Star Wars mini I cut up. There's also, unfortunately, if you can't tell, there's the head of a dog and a tiger, because God is false and he hates you specifically. Don't worry, he hates me specifically too. Now before I go, after wasting all of your time, I must show you the other minis that I have gained. Now don't worry, they don't have any boobies. I mean they do, but they're covered, so you don't have to worry about it. But they are cool. They're cool. I've ordered big guys. Actually, they're not guys, but whatever. Well, one of them was a guy, but I actually got that for free. It's like Oh, thank you for buying a bunch of stuff. Here's some money, not money, some free minis. And he was pretty good at telling what I liked. Let's see. Shit balls. Fucking whore. Don't worry, the Amazons aren't whores. That would be sexist. Ah, you fucking skank. Don't worry, the camera's the skank. Is that good? Fuck you. Fuck your mother. Okay, good. Don't actually fuck your mother. That's illegal. So these are the Amazons. These are from, I think, Artisan Guild. I really like this design. I've seen them just sold as like Inca, like they're supposed to be Incan Amazons. Other than the fact that this lady has a mace, I don't see anything remotely Incan about them. The shields almost look kind of African. I mean, the headdresses kind of look like, I don't know if anyone ever wore that, but kind of like sort of more Central Asian than South American, or Central American than South American. You know, they don't look Andean. But these are some sturdy-ass resin 3D printed minis. I really like them. And when they are painted, they will be dope. And hopefully I will make them very colorful. And hopefully God will annihilate racism from mankind. That would be cool. It would be nice if he did that, God. Now here's the free mini I got. This is like a little gecko-y dude. He's on a thing. He's got a bow. He's gonna shoot the bow. He's a little horned lizard man. He's got a fancy headdress full of bones and feathers. This guy is just based. The fact that I got him for free is just cool, and his pose is badass. I do like him. He is neat. And now finally, the snake ladies. I guess you could call these Nagas or Lamias, whatever you want to call them in a fantasy setting. I guess in my game, Nagas and Lamia, it's kind of like saying someone's an Anunnaki. Like, what the fuck is an Anunnaki? Well, it depends on which Anunnaki. Now, believe it or not, these women are wearing bras. I initially was hoping to get the booby versions of these, but I actually only got the booby version of their queen from a different seller, so I don't have it yet. These are the ones where their boobies are covered. So, you know, that's fine. They're still great minis. You know, I'm not only painting these because of booby. That would be very out of character for me. But these are actually really cool. These are really cool snake ladies. I got them kind of embiggened, right? I got them slightly bigger than a regular scale. Same with the Amazons. I think they're technically, I mean, the seller said 36 millimeter rather than the kind of the 28 or 32 millimeter I'd usually get. Which is cool. You know, that's perfectly within my range of sizes for minis that I want to get, and stuff that works perfectly as far as I'm concerned with that other stuff. You know, I'll throw 25 millimeter in there. Hell, you've seen some of the stuff I've painted. I'll throw 20 millimeter little rat men in, because, you know, small rat men makes sense. As long as it's not like, oh, Confederate troopers, but they're halflings or gnomes. Confederate gnomes sounds to me like the worst character I've ever heard. That's like Quagmire from Family Guy level character. I don't like that. I don't like that. So yeah, these are the final minis of the video. The very long video. It's a darkness. So I like that their shields actually look a little Greek. You kind of can't see it, but there's a little pattern on their shields. There's a little embossing around their I don't know if embossing is the right word. There's like intricate carving. These will be fun to paint. All of these will be fun to paint. But some of them are already painted, obviously. Anyways, I've kept you long enough. I've drained your patience. I've made you question why you would watch videos from someone like me. And I hope that you do not die of an aneurysm for my shitty video. God bless you. I hope that Jesus comes to you and gives you $1 trillion. Bye-bye.